لا إله إلا الله. نعم طيب شيخ، الآن لايف. بارك الله فيك، تبدأ. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
السلام. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام الأتمان الأكملان على محمد رسول الله سيد الأولين والآخرين وإمام الأنبياء والمرسلين والشافع المشفع يوم الدين، وعلى آله الطيبين وأزواجه الطاهرات أمهات المؤمنين وصحابته الغر الميامين ومن استنى بسنته واهتدى بهديه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، حياكم الله, my dear brothers and sisters, to this continuing session of the explanation of كشف الشبهات for Imam Mohamed ibn Abdullah ibn Sulaiman al-Tamimi al-Najdi rahimahullah ta'ala. And in the last session we spoke about those who argue about the grave worshippers, or the worshippers of awliya, as so-called people of righteousness. And they say that how come you call them kuffar or mushrikun while they believe in the testimony of faith, shahadatain. They pray the 5-time prayer towards the Kaaba. They fast during the month of Ramadan. They give out the obligatory charity, and they perform Hajj to the ancient house. And they do all the other rituals of Islam, that which is obligatory and that which is optional. How come you say that they are kuffar? And we said that Islam is not only to be uttered by tongue and then contradicted with belief and actions and even sayings. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as well as he commanded all the believers. Allah Ta'ala said to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as in Surah Hud, in ayah number 112, فاستقم كما أمرت ومن تاب معك ولا تطغوا إنه بما تعملون بصير. So remain on a right course as you have been commanded, you and those who have turned back with you to Allah, and do not transgress. Indeed, He is seeing of what you do. And do not transgress. Transgress what? Any boundaries that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala determined. In aqidah, in ibadah, in dealing, in transaction, whatever. Do not exceed the boundaries of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As He subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَنْ يَتَعَدَّ حُدُودَ اللَّهِ فَقَدْ ظَلَمَ نَفْسَهُ. وَمَنْ يَتَعَدَّ حُدُودَ اللَّهِ فَقَدْ ظَلَمَ نَفْسَهُ. As in Surah Al-Talaq, in the first ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said there, and he and whoever transgresses the limits, the boundaries of Allah, meaning that Allah Ta'ala said and declared for people not to exceed them, not to transgress them. Allah said, and whoever transgresses the limits of Allah has certainly wronged themselves, has oppressed themselves. Why? Because he puts it in the field of punishment. He made it deserve the punishment. Made it deserve the punishment. So those people, as we said last week, as Imam Mohamed Abdullah said, that those who say so, the response to them is very simple. It's very simple. And it is by saying to them that those who Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu has fought against, those whom Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu burned with fire, all of them claimed Islam. All of them claimed Islam. Ali didn't burn with fire Yahud or Christians or whatever, but he burned with fire those who say that they are Muslims. They used to declare the testimony of faith. They used to pray 5 times a day. And they used to fast during Ramadan. They used to perform Hajj, give out zakat, obligatory zakat, and they used to do a lot of even optional deeds. But yet Ali radiallahu anhu have burned them with fire. Why? Because they have apostated by committing the nullifiers of Islam, the nullifiers of Iman, the nullifiers of faith. As when the person gives any part of worship to other than Allah, then he has transgressed the limits of Allah. And whoever transgresses the limits of Allah, Allah doesn't care about him in which valley in Jahannam he falls. So one need to be careful, my brothers and sisters. Don't just be deceived by the large number of people doing such a thing. Do not be deceived by number of shuyukh saying that it is not wrong. Because when you read the Quran, you will clearly see that this is wrong. It's against the Quran. And if you go to them and say to them, I found this in Quran, they say Quran has 2 meanings. One appearance such as that you understood, and then is a hidden meaning only us to understand, which is not as what you understood. That's what they say. My brothers and sisters, Islam is very clear and simple. Islam is not something complicated. It's not something hidden. Islam is so simple, so easy. All what you need to do is use your intellect, not as a very intelligent person. No. Any regular Muslim can understand. When you recite Surah Al-Fatiha, you can understand that seeking help from any other than Allah is not correct. That giving any part of worship to other than Allah is not correct. He doesn't need from you to go to a university so that you can know. No, it's easy. You can know easily. You can know it very easily, my brothers and sisters. Because Allah Ta'ala made it simple. Allah Ta'ala made it very simple. Then Imam Mohamed Abdullah said once they even refused this kind of proof, as that Ali radiallahu anhu used to, he fought against that Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu fought against those who claimed Islam, but they acted as the mushrikeen. They gave parts of worship to other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu fought against them. Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu fought against them. Then Imam Muhammad Abdullah said, and it is also said, those whom Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu ta'ala anhu burned with fire, all of them claimed Islam, and they were from the companions of Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and they took knowledge from the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. However, they held a creed and belief with regards to Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, which was the same as the creed and belief which is held regarding Yusuf and Shamsan. Remember Yusuf and Shamsan, we talked to you about last session. The two awliya, as so-called, Allahu A'lam, they were awliya truly, or they just, people claim that they were awliya. And these two are worshipped besides Allah. So what is the difference then? No difference between those who Ali radiallahu anhu burned them, Abdullah bin Saba and the others, or those who used to worship Shamsan and Yusuf and the Taj. So all of them have committed a nullifier of Tawheed. That's why Imam Muhammad said after that, and also said, and also to be said to this arguer who argue about the worshipping of the awliya, pious and righteous people. He said, Banu Ubayd al-Qaddah, who ruled over Morocco and Egypt in the time of Banu Abbas. Banu Abbas are the second period of kinghood in Islam. The first began by Bani Umayyah, by Muawiyah, and then Banu Abbas. And in their time, the Muslim unity and Muslim power and strength was dismantled, because in their time the conflict started, and they brought closer people who claimed that they are Abu Islam, but they were not. They were Majus. They were mostly Majus, and some Romans who were who claimed that they're Muslims. So Banu Ubayd al-Qaddah, who ruled over Morocco and Egypt, these people were originally Yahud from Syria. They traveled all the way to Morocco, so far from the east in as in Syria to the west as in Africa, in northwest Africa, in Morocco. And the people in Morocco at that time, they did not know who the descendants of Ali and who are not. So these people reach Morocco and claim that they are Fatimiyun, meaning descendants of Fatima, daughter of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and radiallahu anhu. But they are liars. They were only Yahud who claimed that they are Muslims. Exactly like the ones who Ali burned. The founder of their party was Abdullah bin Saba al-Yahudi. He was Yahud who claimed that he embraced Islam. And he infected and influenced the Lehman people, Lehman Muslims at that time, but not the Sahaba. Not a single Sahabi was with them, because the Sahaba are people of knowledge. And that's why we always advise the Muslims to educate themselves in knowledge of Islam, especially the Aqidah, Tawheed, so that no one can deceive you. No one can deceive you. Those people at the time of Ali and Banu Qaddah, who came at the time of Banu al-Abbas, they all were Yahud and they claimed that they became Muslims. And the reason for that is only to corrupt Islam and destroy it as a hate in their hearts towards Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his message that Jibreel came with, who they don't like and hate. So these people, all of them, as Shaykh Mohamed bin Abdullah saying, all of them bore witness, all of them bore witness that La ilaha illallah and that Muhammad was the messenger of Allah, the testimony of faith. And they claimed Islam. And they prayed the Friday prayer and the congregational prayers, meaning the 5-time prayers and the Eid, etc. And they did all the rituals of Islam, such as fasting, Ramadan, etc. But when they displayed opposition to the Sharia in the matters lesser than that which we are discussing, meaning they have opposed the Sharia in lesser violations than what we are talking about. We are talking about worshipping other than Allah. So when they committed things which are, when they displayed opposition to the Sharia and the matters lesser than that which we are discussing, the scholars in their time were agreed, all of them, scholars of al-Sunnah, Jama'ah, they agreed, all of them, and consensus that these people, Banu Ubayd al-Qaddah, are kuffar and upon fighting them. They agreed upon fighting them. And that their land was a land of war, meaning the land that they ruled. It's not their land. Remember, they are not from Morocco, they are not from Egypt, but they overruled it. They removed the rulers. First of all, they showed people piety and love of worship, and so people trusted them. And then they came to Egypt from Morocco with a big army and they started fighting the ruler in Egypt until they removed him and they took over. Then they also took over Morocco. But Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi, may Allah be pleased with him and raise him high in the Jannah, he fought against them and removed them and killed them, because these people were about to destroy Islam more worse than the Yahud themselves as a Yahud, clear Yahud, and the Nasara themselves as a clear Nasara. Yes, the Yahud and Nasara tried all the time by themselves as an open Yahud and open Nasara to either fight against Islam, to defeat it, or to kill the Prophet ﷺ by poisoning, by whatever, by magic, or they did many things. But they were not as worse or as bad as these people. These people showed people Islam, that they are Muslims. But what they did is that they destroyed Islam. They destroyed Islam. They brought lots of innovations from them, as the former ones of who were at the time of Ali. They claimed that Ali is Allah, and these ones they claimed themselves as gods, and they started legislating new law as a law of Islam, iyadhan billah. And they started making people to worship other than Allah from these others themselves, made people to worship themselves. So the ulama at their time, they agreed, all of them, they agreed that they are kuffar, and they agreed to fight them. And so they did. They fought against them with Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi, the Kurdish, rahimahullah radiya anhu. And he's the one who said, that we free Islam from the dennis of these people, then we free al-Quds. Free Islam from the rubbish and kufr that these people brought to it. Then we go fight for freeing Bayt al-Maqdis. Not like it today, people who proclaiming that they are the defenders of Bayt al-Maqdis, praising the Majus, the Rafidi Ithna Ashri in Iran, that they are the defenders of Bayt al-Maqdis, and they call the very criminal Majus, they destroyed Qasim Sulaymani to the hell, bi'idhnillah. They called him the martyr of al-Quds, Shaheed al-Quds. Look at that. They claim that they are al-Sunnah, and they praise the Rafidi Ja'fari ibn Ashri and their country and their government, who claim that Aisha is a woman who did wrong, and Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and most of the Sahaba apostate after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they say that if we conquer Medina, first thing we do is we open the grave of Aisha, and they give a name, bad name, I don't want to say it. And they say that we will give her the deserved punishment of adultery. And they say that they're going to open the graves of the two major companions, Abu Bakr and Umar, the two ministers and advisors and supporters of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the two khulafa after him. He said that we'll bring them out, the two sanam, they call them the two idols of Quraysh, Abu Bakr and Umar, and crucify them and lash them, although, subhanAllah. And many things that they do and say. Those ones who say and proclaim that they are Palestinians and that they want to free the land of Palestine from the Yahud, they praise the Rafidah, who say what you heard about the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu and the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu, and they gave this big name to this criminal, Rafidi, Ashri Majusi, Qasim Sulaiman. My brothers and sisters, we need to review our religion, learn it once again, understand it correctly, because many Muslims today doing exactly like what Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab used to do, and for that Rasulullah fought against them. But these ones today who do exactly like what Abu Lahab, Abu Jahl used to do, they claim that they are Muslims. Subhanallah, that means they don't understand Islam. They don't know what is the true Islam. Why? Because they don't want to learn. They just want to imitate their shuyukh, their people. Although they read the Quran, and even if not all of them understand it, but at least good number of them do. But they turn their backs to it, hoping to continue their desires, ignoring the revelation of Allah, the Almighty, that He revealed to the Prophet ﷺ, as He commanded him, and all those who followed him, as Allah Ta'ala said, as in Surah Hud, ayah 112, فَاسْتَقِمْ كَمَا أُمِرْتَ وَمَنْ تَابَ مَعَكَ وَلَا تَطْغَوْا إِنَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. And so remain on a right course as you have been commanded, you and those who have turned back with you to Allah, and do not transgress. Indeed, He is seeing of what you do. Allah commanded all people in general and Muslims specifically to be upon what they are commanded by Allah and directed by the Prophet ﷺ, not upon what their people are upon or their shuyukh command them to be upon. Because what Allah wanted and what the Prophet ﷺ delivered can be understood easily in Surah Al-Fatiha. In Surah Al-Fatiha, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Then Imam Mohamed Abdullah said, and so the Muslims waged military expeditions against them until they rescued the lands of the Muslims from their hands, from the hands of the Ubaydiyun, who falsely and by lie saying that they are Fatimiyun, deceiving the Muslims, corrupting their religion, and like them, there are many examples today who are leading the Muslim masses. But as the Prophet ﷺ said, دعاة على أبواب جهنم من أطاعهم قذفوه فيها. Callers to the at the gates of Jahannam, whoever obeys them, they throw him into it. May Allah Ta'ala protect us all from the misguidance in the deen and from the corruption in the creed and belief. And may Allah Ta'ala give us a proper understanding of the Quran and the Sunnah. And may Allah Ta'ala make us steadfast upon the straight path that Rasulullah ﷺ was upon and his companions. Wallahu Ta'ala a'lam. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. شيخنا جزاكم الله خير. شيخ سؤال إن شاء الله لو سمحت.
نعم.
راح طيب السؤال شيخنا.
نعم.
Sheikh, what's your advice to individuals who basically they start practicing religion of Islam and they've basically come from a life of Jahiliyyah, specifically in the music industry. And so they used to be like musicians or rappers, as you call them. And so now they've accepted Islam and they want to basically warn against music and the music industry and make a warning against the music industry and caution the other Muslims. But the way they do it, Shaykh, is that they go around on tours and they basically speak about their life and their experience, and which includes the stuff that they were up with or they got up to. And they put that within their advice, Shaykh. So, Shaykh, what's your advice on this type of da'wah or this tariqah? أفيدونا إن شاء الله مأجورين.
يعني if I understand you, you mean that they expose their previous sins to warn people from falling into them. Is that right?
The whole title is titled as ex-musician or ex-rapper tells his story or warns the people. And then they do put elements of their life in there, quite a bit sometimes.
But the advice is, first of all, why does he do this thing? It is for him as try to survive the youth from falling into this sin, which is good to have this kind of feeling towards your Muslim brothers and sisters. But this which is done is not enough to warn or call people. Why? Because the shaitan will use it against you and make you waste your time instead of seeking knowledge properly, and instead of performing more worships such as reciting the Quran, reading the books of hadith, sitting in circles of knowledge, fasting optional days, praying at night. And instead of all that, the shaitan will make you consume your time turning from here to there to warn people by showing your experience, which is, of course, a plan from the shaitan. I don't deny that there will be some benefit.
No.
But when you look to the other possible or advantageable course, you will definitely leave this and take that. What is that? That is to, first of all, hide yourselves from people, because you are going to expose it to people who even didn't know you.
No.
And the second is to spend more time in learning about the deen that Allah guided you to. Even if you were Muslim, you will not have a good understanding of the deen. That's why we are very weak in your heart, and as a consequence of that, you went away with the sins. Now, my advice to you is stick to circle of knowledge, learn the deen correctly. While you are doing that, do more practices such as standing for night prayer and invoking Allah, seeking for forgiveness, such as fasting, optional fasting, and reciting the Quran. Like these things. This will increase you in knowledge and make you capable to give da'wah, convincing others without need to mention that you were like this or you don't be like me. That wasn't the way of the Sahaba. Maybe you need it for one time with one single person, but not publicly, and to make it, because you are poor of knowledge, you make this material of doubt. That is wrong, my brothers and sisters. May Allah Ta'ala guide us all to the truth and make us from those who seek knowledge sincerely and seriously and deeply and firmly, and act upon it first of all, and then secondly, teach it to others. Wallahu a'lam.
جزاكم الله خير شيخنا وبارك الله فيك. I think there was another question, Shaykh. عندك, you got some time?
تفضل.
طيب لحظة. No, I'm sorry, 1 second. This person's asking, Sheikh, is asking about, he says, Salam alaikum, how you do? I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to ask a little question. Basically, he's asking about, fasting, the month of, or not fasting, or fasting in general. It is basically, and the definition is to fast from, or is to stay away from intercourse and eating, and to fast from sunrise to sunset. And he's saying,
it's not to fast from sunrise, to fast from dawn.
Yeah, dawn. So before. Yeah, so his question is, what is the correct replacement of sunrise? And then he said dawn. So you answered it basically.
Yeah.
So it's dawn and sunrise.
That is from
He saw
dawn.
this person, Sheikh, he saw some poster out there. So he sent me the poster and it's based on that. So I wanted a clarification. Jazakumullah khair. Barakallah feek. That's all. Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. I don't see nothing live on YouTube. No questions. Jazakallah khair, Sheikh.
Barakallah feekum, and inshallah I'll see you on Tuesday. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.